Hi and welcome to another video from the CTAD Clinic. My name is Dr. Mike Lloyd and I'm the Clinic Director. I'm going to be looking at another subscriber question today. This one came from Jacinta, so many thanks for that question because this is a very common question and we pretty much get it asked all the time whenever we're working with a new person who's come to the clinic with a dissociative condition. And the question is, will the feeling of going insane ever fade away? And it's such an interesting question because it tells us a lot about the experience of the person, that fundamentally they feel as if the experiences that they're having, or the symptoms, if we want to describe them in medical terms, are what makes them feel like they're going insane. Part of the process of our work is to help use diagnosis and therapy to show that the person, that the experiences they're having are not the pathway to insanity, if you like, that it's not about going crazy or insane, even though that might be exactly what that person feels like. Diagnosis is the first point of call for this, is that we step into that diagnostic process as a pathway to reassuring the person that the experiences they're having that make them feel as if they're going crazy are actually logical and part of a process or a pattern of what a person is experiencing that is rooted in reality, although it might feel like a very different reality from what other people are describing, hence that sense of going insane. That is so different from what other people are going through. You can't compare and match your experiences to anybody else, so it feels as if something fundamentally wrong is happening. And we know from the clinical side that it's not that something wrong is happening, there's a reason why things are happening. The diagnosis gives us a sense of the dissociative condition. It helps give words to explain what's happening, whether it's about the memory or body or altered experience in terms of internal parts or voices or whatever it might be. Therapy then adds to that, because therapy then offers the reassurance and the understanding that what has happened is part of a pattern. It's part of a sensible process that we can look at from the outside. That's what I like to call the detective process of therapy. It's what makes it so valuable to be able to show to a person that the experience that they've had is as a result of something else that has happened and is a consequence of a longer term traumatic experience that took place a long time ago. So that acceptance also helps to bring about understanding, and with understanding the person is able to be more analytical and more thoughtful towards the experiences they're having, and therefore hopefully reduce the panic. It's also nice to bring some humour into it, and one of the phrases that I like to use with people when they're having one of these strange experiences that outside in the world it might seem like a person's going crazy, but within our clinical world we understand it's a dissociative experience. So for example, if a person is diagnosed with dissociative identity disorder or DID, I like to give the person the phrase, that must have been a DID thing. So when they're having an experience that seems really outrageous or strange or just can't be compared to the experiences of other people around them, they're able to say, that's a DID thing. That happened because I've got DID, not because I'm going insane. And therapy is the process by which we can start decoding those experiences within the framework of dissociation and build that understanding. If a person can bring humour into it and they can sort of smile and go, that was a DID thing, I'm not going crazy after all, it can reduce the panic, it can reduce the intensity, and it allows that person to become more thoughtful about what's happened, and that thoughtfulness is a huge reassurance to many folks. To answer your question then, Jacinta, yes, the feeling of going insane should fade away. You're not going insane, it's that you've got a dissociative condition. By and large, I imagine that's exactly why you've asked that question. And what we offer is the reassurance, the understanding. You bring humour into it, you bring a sense of the logical process, you build a framework within which to understand your experience, and you realise that there's a rational component to it. There's a logical process taking place for that experience. Therefore, it cannot be insanity because it's logical, it's reasonable, it has structure, it has a framework, it has meaning, it has context. And none of those things are related to what might be called in the real world insanity. It's actually a very sane person having a very complicated set of experiences as a result of long-term trauma, current positions, and a defensive process. Once we can build all those things together, you realise that actually you're just going through life reacting and responding to the world using your dissociation, and that once you understand it, it helps you feel much better. I hope that's answered your question, Jacinta. Thank you very much. It was a lovely question to ask because we hear it all the time and we offer this as our response, and for many people it works really well. So thank you very much for the question. I've got plenty more, going to keep providing the videos, so please keep leaving comments and like and subscribe, all the usual sorts of things. Please share this video as you feel fit, and in between now and the next one, please do take great care.